Good evening, you're watching the Monday night edition of News First on MTV Sports. I'm Ravi Gamake.
And I'm Punshani Ebrasinghe. Let's start off with a look at your headlines tonight.
Yet another tremor reported from Vadinagala. President reiterates that what matters is the agenda of the public and not private agendas. Minister Maithripala Sirisena informs MPs to look into the requirements at hospitals in their constituencies.
All eyes are on Vadinagala in Ampara these days due to the unusual tremors that are being reported from the area. 2 such tremors were experienced today as well.
The first tremor was reported in the Vadinagala area at around 9 a.m. this morning. The second tremor was reported at around 10:15 a.m. The chairman of the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau, Dr. N.P. Vijayananda, said that the tremor that was reported at 9 a.m. was registered at the Pallakale monitoring station. Geologist Mahinda Senaviratna, who is stationed in the area, noted that the second tremor was picked up by the temporary monitoring station set up in the Vadinagala area.
We cannot understand how this is happening. This morning also we heard this noise. It was like a bomb blast. We thought these vibrations were due to storms. Very recently we got to know it is an earthquake. It comes from the direction of Galloya.
The tremor were felt in the Vadinagala, Devalahida, Pallamoya, Kivulegama and Galkanda areas. The area residents added that a loud noise was heard during the tremors today as well. This is not the normal sound of an earthquake. The sound usually lasts for some time as well. There is a big difference in the sounds. Mahinda Senaviratna also explained the progress of the investigations being carried out. We will continue our investigations in a scientific manner. We are confident that we will be able to find the source of these tremors. Investigations are still at the preliminary stage. On the 10th of this month, another tremor was reported in the Vadinagala area at around 6:55 p.m. The Geological Survey and Mines Bureau noted that the tremor had been picked up by the monitoring stations in the Pallakale, Mahakandarava and Hakmana areas. Nearly 15 tremors were reported in the Vadinagala area in the month of November alone.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that no one has the ethical right to use their position to shine as individuals. The president made this observation at an event held at the Gumbadal Shailaram Viharaya.
The event was held to felicitate the newly appointed chief prelate of the Sri Rohana chapter of the Siam sect, Most Venerable Gumbadrananda Ramathera. While President Rajapaksa presented the chief prelate with a commemorative souvenir, the appointment scroll was presented by Minister Dallas Alahaperma.
No
one has the right to use their position to shine. It is unethical if individuals aim to shine through their position. When building this nation, when making this nation prosperous, we have not considered individuals. I strongly believe that we must consider talent, skills and patriotism. As we climb higher, we must forget personal agendas. We must adopt the people's agenda. Some might see this as something wrong. Rather than ensure personal welfare, we must ensure the welfare of the people. We will not revoke decisions taken to ensure the welfare of the people.
A demonstration was held today at Lipton Circus in Colombo against the impeachment motion brought against the Chief Justice and the Parliamentary Select Committee, which found her guilty. Representatives of trade unions, civil society activists, lawyers associations and politicians participated in this demonstration.
Mussolini! Mussolini!
The rally was organized by the Organization for the Independence of the Judiciary. Representatives of the organization said that an invitation had been extended to all opposition parties to participate in this demonstration. A Accordingly, several public representatives from the opposition participated in this rally. The time has come today to decide if you are going to raise your hand and give your blessings to the dictatorial ad hoc decisions that destroy democracy in this country, or whether you are going to work towards establishing a society which respects the principles of natural justice.
කාලය ලැබිලා තිබෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා විශේෂයෙන්ම මම කියන්නට කැමති අද ක්‍රියාත්මක වන්නේ කැකිල්ලේ තීන්දුවයි.
චෝදනා තුනකට
That kangaroo court has said that she is guilty on 3 counts. This is amazing. No one has the right to do things like this.
කළා තියෙනවා පුදුම වැඩක් නේ. මෙහෙම කරන්න කිසි අයිතියක් කාටවත් නැහැ.
The demonstration ended following the rally held at Lipton Circus.
A conference organized by Platform for Freedom to mark International Human Rights Day was held in Colombo today under the theme Supremacy of the People and Human Rights.
A group of politicians, including opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe and civil society activists, participated in the conference, which was held at the National Library Services Board auditorium.
විජේදාස රාජපක්ෂ මන්ත්‍රීතුමා පුද්ගලික මන්ත්‍රීවරුන්ගේ
Parliamentarian Vijayadasa Rajapaksa has presented a private member's bill setting out the procedure to remove a judge. It states that before a vote is taken on removing a judge, the Speaker should conduct an independent and fair investigation. If it is a Chief Justice, 3 judges of the Commonwealth should be appointed to investigate and a report should be obtained from them. When the Cabinet convenes this week, it could be passed as an emergency law. We could then pass this into law on the 8th or the 9th.
එන සුමානේ නැත්තම් මේ සුමානේ කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලය රැස් වුණාම මේක අනුමත කරන්න පුළුවන් හදිසි පනතක් ඇති. ඒකට 8 වෙනිදා නැත්තම් 9 වෙනිදා අපි සම්මත කරලා දෙන්න.
We have to acknowledge one simple fact that we as citizens of this country are now being turned into subjects. We now come to a situation in this country where the rule of law seems to be a thing of the past. Under any standard of natural justice, of commonsensical justice, of fair play, this process of impeachment should make us all in this country as Sri Lankans hang our head in shame. Not because we were directly responsible in that process over the last 2 weeks, but because we allowed this to happen to us. Democracy at the end of the day is a contract between those who we elect to rule us and we who then stand vigilant to ensure that our trust and confidence is not betrayed. Those who violate our rights, I say to you, are cowards. They rely crucially on our timidity, our fear, our own cowardice.
This is an era where the voice of the people is being stifled by the ruler. Can we live in this country with such rulers? The rights of women are being disregarded at every turn and every incident, from rape to insults. We all know that neither the president nor his followers have taken any steps to free us from them.
We should keep in mind that when we say majority in the parliament, it does not mean a democracy.
හිතන විදියට නීතිය ප්‍රකාශය කළා ඔන්න අපි නීතිය කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ නඩුත් අහනවා. ගල් කටස් අරගෙන ඇවිදලා ටොයිලට් ගාව රැකලා ගෑනුන්ට වෙඩි තියපෙවුනුත් දැන් අධිකරණයට යනවා.
Can we proclaim such a court?
අපිට පුළුවන් ද ප්‍රකාශයට පත් කරන්න.
The United Bhikkhu Front convened a media briefing in Colombo today, which were expressed on the impeachment motion brought against the Chief Justice.
Did the parliamentarians who signed this motion know about the charges? They signed a blank sheet of paper. The committee which was appointed has split. A group has resigned from it. We need to understand that this is not a nation that will allow the 225 parliamentarians to play around.
නමුත් අපි තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන
මේක මේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ඉන්න 225 දෙනෙකුට නටන්න දෙන්න පුළුවන් රටක් නෙමෙයි මේක.
මේක ඒක පුජ්‍යල නාට්‍යයක් වගේ.
This is similar to a one-man drama. This was created by the government, they held the inquiry, and they will deliver the judgment as well. The whole world sees this as a big joke. Whoever who commits wrong can be punished through the law. The clergy as well as the people of this country are against punishments being meted out in this manner.
ඒ වැරද්දට දඬුවමක් තියෙන නීතිය තුල
7 petitions were filed in the Supreme Court today, calling on the court to dismiss all petitions that have been filed challenging the appointment of the Parliamentary Select Committee to examine the impeachment motion brought against the Chief Justice under standing orders of Parliament.
Two of the petitions that have been filed in the Supreme Court state that the Parliamentary Select Committee has already arrived at a conclusion on 3 of the 14 charges that have been levelled in the impeachment motion. Accordingly, the petitions note that there is no necessity to obtain the interpretation of the Supreme Court on the appointment of the Parliamentary Select Committee under standing orders. The petitions have been filed by 7 individuals, including the chairman of the Sri Lanka Progressive Front, Peter Nelson Pereira.
Speaking at an event held in Middenia today, the Minister of Disaster Management, Mahinda Amaraveera, commented on the impeachment motion against the Chief Justice.
If a teacher does wrong, then that person can be removed. If a principal does wrong, that person can be removed. If secretaries and education directors do wrong, there is a system to remove them as well. There is a system to remove politicians. But the only way in which we can be removed is through elections. After it was given, it cannot be taken away. If an official is to be removed from the Supreme Court, then the Constitution has provided the system for that, which is the impeachment motion. She has to face it. She cannot evade it. If we are summoned for a case, we cannot say that we have no faith and we will not appear. If we do that, we will be remanded. The minister laid the foundation stone for a new laboratory to be constructed at the Talava Mahavidyalaya in Middenia.
The Bar Association of Gaul says its members will keep away from courts tomorrow and the day after in protest over the alleged unfair manner in which the impeachment motion against the Chief Justice was examined.
The secretary of the association, Amaridivakara Lianarachi, said that a meeting had been convened this morning to discuss the issue. Lianarachi said that 4 proposals on the impeachment motion had been passed with a majority at the meeting. Meanwhile, the Bar Association of Jaffna says that its members will keep away from courts for 4 days starting from tomorrow. A release issued by the Bar Association of Jaffna notes that the lawyers of Vaunia, Mana and Kilinochchi are also supporting this move.
And time now for the newspaper cartoon of the day.
Today is the 64th International Human Rights Day. The theme of this year's Human Rights Day is My Voice Counts.
The Universal Declaration of Human Rights was proclaimed by the United Nations on the 10th of December 1948 to ensure the fundamental rights of every human being. As a member of the United Nations, Sri Lanka ratified the Human Rights Convention in 1955. Through this, every person living in this country is entitled to all human rights regardless of religion, ethnicity, class or caste. While human rights are irrevocable, it was proclaimed during the World Human Rights Conference in Vienna in 1993 that all governments must protect the human rights of its people regardless of their political, economic or cultural status.